Dear students, for today's class, let us take up on the topic Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement originated in Tamil Nadu in South India around 6th century AD. The Alvar and Nayanar saints were the propagators of the Bhakti faith. The Alvar were the devotees of Vishnu, and Nayanars were the devotees of Shiva. They wandered from one place to the other and preached their faith and identified certain places as shrines of the abode of deities. Later, large temples were built and the images of the saints were worshipped in the shrines. Alvar and Nayanar saints were from different sects of society. There were 12 Alvar Vaishnavite saints and 63 Nayanar Saivite saints. They propagated for the growth of Bhakti movement in the South India. They were considered as important propagators and promoters of the Vedas. The best example of which is the Nailayara, Divyapara, Bandham, an anthology in the 10th century. It was the compositions by the 12 Alvars. This was considered as the Tamil Veda and recognized as the 4 Vedas cherished by the Brahmanas. The presence of women devotees was a distinguished feature of Alvar Nayanar tradition. Women devotees to be mentioned are Andhal, a great women devotee of Alvar tradition. Another woman is Karakal, a Mayar, woman devotee of Nayanar tradition. These women devotees denounce patriarchal norms and challenge them through their lifestyles and compositions. We shall take up the ideology of Bhakti movement. They believe that salvation from freedom from the bondage of birth and death can be attained by 3 means. Jnana, that means knowledge, karma, that means action, and bhakti, that means devotion. With the passage of time, bhakti was regarded as most important. Singing and chanting of devotional songs were part of worship. It criticized caste system and opposed to dominance of the Brahmanas in the society. It focused that all human beings are one and the same and one God. Thus, withstanding class, creed, and gender, even women were accommodated in the social platforms. Brahmanas took important part in the society, and also women played an important role. Bhakti movement, with the emergence of Buddhism and Jainism, which had begun during 300 BC, that had continued for some period, could not last long. When it was time for the decline of the Rajputs and the Marathas, it was the time when the Muslim movement or the intrusion sneaked in to the political life of India. Bhakti movement was kept inactive for some period. Moreover, India was invaded by the Muslim invaders and Islam rooted in India. However, the Islamic faith influenced the Hindu community of one being and one God. It was then, during the last part of the rule of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the Sultanate rule started declining. Socio-religious reformers from all sections of people sprang up. Hence, there was a new revival, a social and religious revolution, and this movement revived the Bhakti movement. The leader of the Hindu revivalist movement was Shankaracharya, who was a great thinker and a distinguished philosopher. In order to mention some of the propagators or the saints which propagate Bhakti movement, Ramanuja, he lived in the 11th century AD, born in a Brahmin family near Madras. He attempted to assimilate Bhakti to the tradition of Vedas. According to him, moksha, that means salvation, lies through karma, that means action, gyan, knowledge, and bhakti, devotion. He propounded the concept of Vishis Tadvaita, qualified monoism, that means one God. He preached the doctrine of personal devotion to God, Sanguna Isvara. His followers are called Vaishnavas. Ramanuja can be rightly called the founder of the Bhakti movement. Among the later exponents of the Bhakti movement, we may discuss on the following. Ramananda. He was the founder of Bhakti movement in the North India. He was influenced by the teaching of Ramanuja. He stressed his teaching on love and devotion. He also stressed among his followers the abolition of caste practice. He popularized the cult of Rama and Sita in place of worship of Krishna and Radha. His disciples were Raidas. He came from the sect of cobbler. Kabir, he came from weaver society. Dhana, he came from the farmer society. And then Sena himself, he was a barber. And Pipa, the Rajput. That shows that Bhakti was the formation from all sects of society. Another leader was Guru Nanak, 1469 to 1538 AD. He was the founder of Sikh faith in Punjab, born in Talwandi, now Nankana Sahib, to a Khatri family. He emphasized on one God and was against idolatry. His teaching gave rise to Sikhism. He initiated the practice of community kitchen, which was very much peculiar to all other Hindu sections. So he started the practice of community kitchen. Another leader was Balaba Charya. Born to Telugu parents in 1479 AD near Banaras, he emphasized on the worship of Krishna as an incarnation of the Almighty God. He lived in the court of Krishna Devaraya of Vijayanagar, founded the Pusti sect. And another famous propagator of Bhakti movement was Chaitanya, 1485 to 1533 AD. He was born in Nadia district of West Bengal. He was the most popular among the Vaishnava saints and regarded as the founder of modern Vaishnava sect of Bengal. He preached during the reign of Sultan Alauddin Shah of Bengal and Gazpati ruler of Orissa. He emphasized universal love and brotherhood as the first step to the love of God. He died at Puri. His biography is Chaitanya Charitmala. His philosophy was called Achitya Bhadavala. He is considered as an incarnation of Krishna by his followers. His image is seen in every Bengali home and is worshipped. She was the popular propagator of Bhakti movement, Mirabai, 1498 to 1546 AD. She married to Bhojraj. She was a Rathore princess of Mewata and daughter-in-law of Rana Sangha of Mewar. She belonged to Krishna cult of Vaishnavism. Another leader, propagator, was Tulsidas, 1532 to 1623 AD. He was born in Brahmin family. In Varanasi, belonged to Ram Bhakti cult of Vaishnavism. He wrote Rama Charit Manas, Gita Wali, Kavita Wali, Vinay Patrika, etc. He propounded the worship of Rama as an incarnation. Now, before we closed, let us see the impact of Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement was a widespread movement from all sections of the society and from different regions of India. Its impact was significant. Religious impact. It brought about reformation of Hinduism. It denounced the former religious practices as caste system and idolatry. Bhakti movement was also against positions and exploitation by the Brahmanas. Bhakti movement saved Hinduism from the exploitation of Islam. The sense of Bhakti emphasized on oneness of human being, one God, equality, and brotherhood. Bhakti movement led to the foundation of Sikh religion in Punjab by Guru Nanak Dev. Social impact. It brings unity and understanding between religious differences. Somehow, lessen high or low class, race or creed. It brought harmony between the Hindus and the Muslims. Saints from all sections emerged. Cultural impact. It enriched regional languages. The reformers of different sects, they preached in their own mother tongue. That was why it enriches regional languages. We can see the political impact. Bhakti movement led to the growth of Sikh and Marathas' power. Guru Nanak and his 9 successors in Punjab enhanced brotherhood and oneness of human beings. And Tukaram in Maharashtra also emphasized on unity and brotherhood. They condemned casteism, differences between rich and poor. Great leaders like Guru Gobind Singh in Punjab and Shivaji in Maharashtra emerged. We can conclude today from today's lesson that with the emergence of Bhakti movement, the Hindu religion appeared to be one of the major religions in India. Let us meet in the next class. For today, thank you so much.